Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts. In this series of videos I'll be looking at the Judge Dredd case files in order and picking out the most prominent and important stories, as well as noting some artists and writers that actually appear in these books. Okay, so back with another Judge Dredd case file. Second attempt to do this video because first one crashed literally 2 minutes from the end and I didn't realise, and then I lost the video. So kind of annoying. So we're going to go back over some stuff I've obviously spoken about in the last couple of days to myself, but nobody else heard it. So let's go from there. So we have opening story is again another Kim Raymond artwork stuff, which I think is very nice. Which is basically about a guy that shoots down a huge plastic inflatable balloon over the top of a block and kills a load of people at a party. And the judges go to like one of the opposing blocks where the guy apparently lives, and does basically a crime blitz. Managed to arrest 80 people on various different small minor crimes whilst trying to find this guy. And the people that dob him in basically are shoplifters, and they get arrested as well. So it's quite a nice little kind of like a, not necessarily investigation, but kind of just an idea of, gives you how strict the laws in Meg City 1 are. Then we get to Dredd Angel, where we've got Mean Machine having brain surgery so that he believes Judge Dredd is Power Angel, and he's needed to go to take Dredd through the cursed Earth because there is a crashed starship that apparently has Liberace's treasure, the treasure from Liberace's tomb, which is quite cool. But they also have judge clones there from Fargo and other judges that they're shipping off to Texas City to help bulk out their clone. Oh my god, I've gone blank. their resources basically, so they can clone judges. Now this is quite an interesting story because again, it kind of that is kind of important. So as the story goes on, basically, I remember this when it came out. Mean Machine is very cool. He goes around in 4. I remember this headbutt battle between Mean and these kind of goat-headed dudes. I remember him headbutting the bloke into the ground with a tent peg, and he kind of goes insane, and he's stuck on 4.5, and Dredd has to put him down. But there's an interesting part in here later on as we kind of make through. So they stop off at various places as they're making their way around. Dredd comes across one of the babies that's been killed because it came out of its droid. Now, presumably by the end of the story, the other 4 got to Texas City, but it's not revealed which one didn't make it. Have we got Fargo clones running around, or a Fargo clone, Dredd clone, Kraken clone in Texas City that we don't know about? It's a possibility. So I remember the Tulsa melts that comes up later on. They find the tomb and the treasure and the judges, and basically they Mean's kind of told to leave, and yep, does so. And then he starts recognising that Dredd is not Power Angel right at the end, and thankfully, after shooting his legs away, he puts them down on the ground, and Texas City kind of take him away back to Meg City 1. And they don't kill him, which is glad, because Mean Machine's too good to keep killing off all the while. Then we go to another Kim Raymond story with a giant white alligator, which I remember that picture there very vividly, the giant mouth. Again, artwork, I do like his artwork, it's really nice. I want to know if he does inks rather than pencils, because his ink work seems to be like more important. But yeah, anyway, so giant white shark, can't beat a little monster movies thing as you go in there. Now, Question Judgment's an interesting one. Basically, Dredd goes to talk to his academy teacher, Judge Morph, who, as kind of stuff's going on, basically Dredd says that he has the possibility that he could shoot this perp, could have wounded him, but didn't, killed him on the spot, and basically kind of wonders if it was the right thing to do. Should he have shot him and just wounded him and done that, or should he have done a kill shot? And Morph kind of says, just think about it, he probably could have shot you back and all this kind of stuff as well. But that information goes back to the Justice Department, and then we get a section here where Dredd makes apparently an error judgment. This kid has been basically killed, but they can transfer her brain into a robot body, but she's not acting completely correct. But they're going to take the kid to a tech person, and Dredd says the Justice Department's going to pay for it. And it turns out at the end of the story that fixing the kid doesn't actually work, and she ends up getting killed anyway. And Dredd, basically gets bawled out by one of the Justice Department tax people, and Dredd smacks him in the mouth. And Magruder is very concerned about what's going on with that, so they send Dredd to be assessment, which is a case for treatment. So you got like a little three kind of character study of Dredd's kind of personality here. She mentions that there's an arms thing coming on and some other stuff as well. So the case of treatment stuff basically goes through all of Dredd's history, and we see him being a clone, we see him doing his training with his brother Rico, killing Rico as well, and you kind of just almost like a little snapshot of kind of like a who's who in past Dredd stories that kind of retells his origin without specifically telling you they're retelling his origin, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so then we get the Wally Squad story, which is basically undercover judges. Brett Aaron's artwork, fantastic. I love Brett Aaron's artwork. It's kind of nice and chunky. It is Brett Aaron's, isn't it? Yes, it is. Kind of reminds me of Brendan McCarthy. Interesting. I wonder if McCarthy's got anything to do with it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And basically, it's a story about the undercover Wally Squad, which is the judges that mix in with the citizens and tend to go a little bit too far into their cover and become a bit insane. Lovely bit of Dredd there. That's a couple of parts, and then we get the reason why I love this book so much, and I wanted this book since I started collecting from issue 1. So, okay, so when I first started collecting the magazines, the case files, this was obviously volume 8. I started at volume 1. I really wanted volume 8 because of City of the Damned. City of the Damned, Steve did artwork, fantastic. Went out of print, and it was very difficult to get hold of through multiple eBay auctions I managed to get on, which is why this one's a little bit bad. Thankfully now it's all been reprinted. But yeah, this is one of my favourite stories in classic Dredd kind of era. So the Proteus Time Machine basically says that there is a side division of basically decided that there is some kind of disaster going to come looming up in the future. They send Anderson and Dredd to basically see what's going on with it. So artwork is lovely. And it turns out that when they get there, all the Mega City judges are vampires. And the city is kind of completely destroyed. They make their way through to the various sick places, and they come across Hershey. Hershey's also a vampire as well. And they realise over a course of time that what's happened is that a mutant, which is the mutant version of the Judge Child, has basically taken over the city and caused all the problems, which is and they kind of show a little flashback there of how it happened. He kills loads of side people off. Turns out really bad. And then they realise that's what the issue is. So with that, they basically know that they've got to make their way out, back to Proteus, make their way back to their past. In doing so, they come across this dragony thing, which pokes Dredd's eyes out, which I'm surprised it happens right here, because I thought that might have been at the end of the last chapter. Anyway, Dredd loses his eyes, and he's effectively blind for this entire rest of this story, which is quite cool. The Christ the Mutant basically tells exactly what happened in the past about the Grunwald and like how he tried to clone him and he was going to be killed. And they realise if they go back in time, they can probably do something about it. But now they've got to fight a mutant vampire version of Dredd himself, which they do so after shooting him many, many times. Bit of Kim artwork there, and the best bit of Dylan artwork, which is sport because it's down the centre of the spine. But hey, what can you do about it? It's on the cover, so there's that as well. But that's one of my favourite parts. And there's that as well, which I swear is on the back cover of the role-playing game, the Games Workshop role-playing game. But I don't remember him having. I wonder if they altered it slightly because I don't remember him having the little spiky teeth. Anyway, Proteus takes them back to the past. They go to the planet where the Grunwald is, and basically see the events kind of play out as they should have done. But this time, Dredd's there to basically kill the mutant, chucks him in some lava, and they basically avert the future that's there. But they've still got the vampire version of Dredd in the Black Museum. Okay, so then we've got the Hunters Club, which is basically some random citizen who's chosen to be killed by a group of wealthy people that basically bid on being the murderer. And this guy gets voted in, although he doesn't actually want to do it. He's just kind of there to hang out, gets to pick his weapon, and then, yep, so we've got some more Steve Dean artwork in this one as well, which is good. That's pretty cool. That's not too bad a story either. Then we get, oh, still Hunters Club, so I thought it was a 3-part. It's obviously at least a 4-part. Then we've got Monster Row, which is about a giant robot, which is quite good because we haven't seen giant robot construction workers since the Robot Wars. I remember this guy getting crushed by this leg when it first came out, so that's something. And this, I believe, is it's not Ron Smith. Who's that? That is somebody I know. Crikey. Okay, I can't actually read that writing because it's so smudgy. That's part of the problem. Some of the bold text in this stuff tends to go really blurry. Anyway, some more Kim Raymond stuff here, which is good. I haven't seen Decca since her appearance in the 7th volume, but I swear she shows up at some point now. Then we go to more Ron Smith stuff with the psychic kid that can effectively set stuff on fire, and they manage to blow up an entire part of the city. Which is quite good. Sunday Night Fever, which is basically the last Sunday before Sunday night shift, where people kind of realising they haven't got a job on Monday, or they've got to go to a job on Monday, and they go a little bit insane. And it's basically about wanting to work on the Monday, which is quite an interesting thing. So there's a whole kind of riot and stuff going on with not been the unemployment benefits, unemployment numbers that they've got on there. Then we get a story here about some people that are basically killing off eldsters and stealing their money. One story here about a potential failed cadet, but they managed to dob in their parents, so they kind of passed the grade. When we got the ISO Block 101, which is a thing about a cyborg attempting to kill somebody. So we kind of get into, after City of Damned, we kind of get into those little one and done storylines, which are, again, not too bad. They're quite nice as kind of like glimpses at Mega City 1, but we haven't got those kind of big epics. Then we get this one where we have basically a judge that oversteps his boundaries, and Dredd has to put him down with artwork by I can't remember this guy's name either. This guy's name is Ian Kennedy. So Ian Kennedy did a lot of artwork for Eagle back in the day, in the early stuff. I remember this guy doing really nice painted artwork. And again, it's a shame this is black and white, because this would be probably been colour in the back in the actual books themselves. It's not too bad grayscale, but colour would be nice. We've seen Sega Jimbo can do colour. I suppose it's got better print than this, but obviously colour comes along later on. But obviously when the colour comes along in these, the books get thinner. Then we've gone to the covers, which I remember the Gate cover. Definitely remember the Wally Squad cover. City of the Damned. Bit of Brendan McCarthy artwork, which I really like, nice and chunky. I swear it's Brendan McCarthy. Monstro. And then the best thing ever, which is the City of the Damned 2-page spread that they used. If 2000 AD are listening, please release this as one of your classic posters that you're doing, because this is fantastic. Colour version of this would be absolutely awesome, along with the wraparound cover for Blockmania. That'd be fantastic. And then a bit of Cliff Robinson artwork. And Cliff Robinson is going to start showing up pretty soon, and I really like Cliff Robinson's Dredd. Very, very nice. So there you go. That's it for Volume 8. Again, not a bad little collection. Definitely worth it for City of the Damned. The other stuff isn't too bad as well, but City of the Damned, one of the best classic Dredd stories in my opinion. So yeah, there you go. We'll be back at some point with Volume 9, and hopefully you'll be able to tune in this one. If you did like this one, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.